All right, welcome back to another edition of Sling Pain Gaming. I am Berto, and I got Blake and Nymz here, and also a special guest. I'm going to fade the camera right in. There's Blake, there's Nymz. I also got Seamus finally online. What's up, Seamus?
Hey, what's up, guys?
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
It's me.
In the digital flesh, I guess.
The digital flesh.
He's finally he's more than a Y-Wing today, folks. He's right here with us.
Yes.
Hey.
Which we always have. Seamus is probably one of our biggest, one of our biggest fans here. He's also a TEAMSPG member. He's also, he's usually on almost every live stream that we have. And he's always commenting and adding value and adding a lot of great content and for our community and what have you and good stuff. So
and also the winner of the February Listinator Challenge.
Oh, that's
January.
Right. Yes.
January.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. And also, you know what he did? I don't know if you guys know this. He, instead of taking the tokens, because he's probably got like 14 million thousand of our tokens already, he actually gave it to the second place team, which was actually Chase. We found out, and it was actually worked out great because Chase just became unemployed into the thing, so it was like worked out great with him getting tokens, and he was happy and pigs and shit, and so it worked out awesome. It was great.
Awesome way to pay it forward, man.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that he can use them, especially now, hitting the hard times. It's just something cool to me.
Understood. All right, so what we wanted to talk about today is kind of like what you've been flying, where you're from, what's your, what you've been flying lately, what you've been seeing, what's your meta. And the reason why I like doing this is because it's different all over the place. I mean, one meta in one area is completely different meta in another area. And and then Blake, Nymz, you guys chime in, all that stuff. This is just a casual conversation. So where are you from originally, Seamus?
Originally, I'm from Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the Portsmouth and Norfolk area originally.
Okay.
When I was a small child, my dad was transferred. He was working for the government. Up here, I'm in Washington State now. I live in a town called Port Orchard, and if you draw a line almost due west from the Space Needle on a map, you'll hit my town.
Okay.
It takes me an hour to get that 10 miles no matter how I go, also, whether I take a boat or drive around. So, I've been living up here since 1982. So I don't know. I miss down there.
Yeah. Understood. So how's the X-WING community in your area?
We actually have a really huge community. If you look on what is it, Twitch and on Facebook, if you look up the Evergreen Squadron, there's the guy that runs the podcast for that actually runs the local Vassal League.
Cool.
So, and he coordinates with the group on Facebook. We probably coordinate between 25 and 30 shops around the Puget Sound area.
Okay.
So
nice.
And they also do a podcast. Is it Evergreen Squadron Radio? Is that them?
Mm-hmm. That's them.
I'm going to have to like it. I'm liking it. Liked. It's been liked.
Noticing on the group, 391 members in the closed group. That is impressive.
Nice.
Well, I'm one of the. There's 390 others.
Now you guys also have in Seattle there, one of the System Open events is going to be in Seattle, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Indoor in March.
Okay.
I'm
nice.
so jealous.
Now, are you going to that one?
I'm hoping to. I'm not sure. It's up in the air right now.
Sure.
Money. They're trying to get us to pay for 4 days of a comic convention in a different building than the open is. So.
Really?
I noticed that. It's like Cascade. It's like Cascade to try and because it's underneath. It's being held by the same people that are running the Book Open. And Emerald City Comic-Con badges required for participation. Like that doesn't seem right.
It's so expensive. Yeah, I mean, I want to go. I might get a single day pass just to go take some pictures, meet some people, that kind of thing. But I don't think I can afford to it's like $200 total. I think to get in. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's the entry to the event, to the tournament too. So it's not just to the Comic-Con, but. That's a lot of money for me to go and probably only get 1 day worth of gaming in. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here, and it's $60 for the Admiral upgrade, and then you have $110
Yeah.
for the 4-day badge. That is
Yeah,
and so wait,
that's
they don't
bit
have a
much.
single day badge. You can't like just do a
no,
single.
no. You have to get the 4-day badge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane,
that makes
huh?
no sense.
That's
They were
crazy.
trying to get him to work a deal, but everything I've heard has been pretty much negative, and it's going to be way too expensive.
Wow.
Yeah, so apparently it's going to be one of those pay to play, events. But,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll move on from that then, since that's
Yeah.
not
Now that
cool.
we start, now that
Damn
we started
Endar and
with the logo.
Ewoks.
All right, so thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see.
Now that we started on a low note, we have nowhere else to go but up.
Right?
Right.
Hey, this is true. This is true.
So Blake, Seamus, you were saying something about Blake's list today. You were going to give that a shot, and what was the list of Blake that you were going to give a shot?
That was actually my list. It's on the forums. It's Jedi. It's Kanan carrying Ezra in the shuttle, and then Ahsoka flying wingman for him. And I went up against 2 Upsilon, and without firing a shot out of Ahsoka and without deploying the shuttle in like 2 turns, one of those Upsilon was gone.
Nice.
I vaporized it. And all I can think is, this is fun. And the only reason I built it was because one of my friends was like, you need to go back to flying that Ghost. You were so awesome with it. And I was like, okay, fine. So, and I don't know if you've noticed on the list I post, most of them tend to have a theme. Like the uglies now that I'm working with, the YV and the 2 quad jumpers. I can't imagine something uglier than that to fly around.
Imagine 5 of those quad jumpers, because that's what our friend Ryan was flying the other day.
Oh, he did fly the 5
nice.
jumpers?
Yeah, he flew them. Yeah,
No, he flew those last Saturday.
he flew them last night
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He does
So-
better when he doesn't have 6 beers in his system.
True.
Now, speaking
Beer
of
wing.
Ryan, that's who I had to fly this list against tonight with against a quad jumper.
Uh-huh.
So how did that list work out with for you, Blake?
Let's see. So I vaporized Torko Bucks immediately,
Yeah, good kill.
and then he failed something. He was trying to make a maneuver with the quad jumper, and I was expecting to get tractor beamed, so I dialed in a maneuver with Ahsoka, just expecting to be tractor beamed, but it didn't happen. Like, shit. So I ran her right on a rock.
So you
no.
wanted him to
It was the
move
one
you.
time I was like, okay, I want you to tractor with me. I know this is what you want to do. Let's get this over with, and it didn't happen. I'm like, damn it.
It's like a messed up Boshek that just didn't work.
Right.
So Ahsoka went down. It was sad too, because I had just got back. I had just dropped their thermals. I'm like, yeah, this is working. Now I'm gonna be annoying with her and Kanan doing things together, and then she died. I'm like,
Oh.
well, because Torkel, I didn't think about this, and neither did he. If Torkel knocks it down to a pilot skill 0,
Anyone can shoot her.
anyone can shoot her.
Oh,
Really?
And I didn't
Right.
think about that. I'm like, oh, well, cool. She's pilot skill 9. I'm like, yeah, she's. And then
Yeah,
he had like a light go off, and he's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna Torkel Bucks her. I'm like, oh my god.
so I guess that-
wait. So what's the list? What's the whole entire list?
It's Kanan Jarrus with the dorsal turret, fire control system, Rey, Captain Rex, and of course Titled. And then Ezra has Push the Limit, the dorsal turret, Nymz, and the Title. And then Ahsoka is VI, Captured Tie, and Savings Masterpiece with, I think it's the one I posted has the scavenger crane and the thermal detonators on it.
No, you had black market slicer tools on here.
Oh, that's right. And I
That was
remember
also
that
sad, 'cause I was about to totally black market slicer tool that little quad jump to kill it.
Nice.
And you said this
Nice.
was on our forums? On our
Yeah.
forums?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's under
Jedi. That's the name of it. It's in the Listinator.
All right,
technically
doing
they're
it right now.
Padawans, but hey,
It's still Jedi though.
they're still Jedi.
They're still Jedi.
Jedi Padawan is the official title.
Well,
So, I
I
had
don't.
a lot of fun with it. I was just upset that I lost Ahsoka because I understood what I was trying to do.
Oh
I
yeah.
was trying to focus with Kanan and then have Ahsoka focus and then feed Kanan an evade action or black market slicer.
Right.
And then with Ray, I was basically getting 2 focus and an evade every turn.
And if you missed, you always had one from Captain Rex to bank onto Ray.
And that was something I didn't think I would use a lot, but I ended up using them once or twice. I'm like, hey, this is actually useful to have.
Mm-hmm. I mean, can you imagine that with a twin laser turret on like your style build with the twin laser turret and firing that thing off twice? If you miss all 4 shots, you're putting 4 extra focus down to reduce your opponent's attacks just that easily.
I can so imagine that. Like I'm like play around with Captain Rex more often. This is really cool.
Right.
So even if you miss, oh well. Here, I'll take a focus token.
So, question then, with Kanan, I know you spend a focus to make your opponent roll 1 less attack dice.
Right.
Is it limited to only 1 focus, or are you able to?
It's per attack. Yes, I believe it's limited to 1.
Okay, so you couldn't like spend 3 and make somebody not roll and they dies. Okay.
No.
That would suck.
It is assumed that unless otherwise stated on the card that you can only use the ability once per attack or once per round, unless it's stated specifically. That's why with Ahsoka you can't use both her focus tokens to give 2 actions away.
Right.
See, that's why I like flying Imperial and Scum, because that's just way too much shit to think about.
Oh, you definitely don't want to see my new bomber build then. I've got a pair of Ys and then Captain Rex in the TIE Fighter as a bomber. And then I've got Ahsoka with the captured TIE and VI just to give actions away and block and be annoying.
It sounds like something Berto would like.
Yeah, Captain Rex can go both ways. Wait, that sounded really bad.
That didn't sound good at all.
In other words, it's easy. You can fly Imperial or Rebel. It's not Rebel only, right?
No, he's from the Rebel TIE Fighter.
You're thinking of Boshek.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Captain Rex, crew member, is Rebel only, and then he flies Sabine's masterpiece. So.
Mm-hmm.
So while you guys were talking, I pulled it up and I'll put the link actually below in the description to the list that you're talking about on our forums here. And so with Ahsoka Tano, with the captured TIE title, Sabine Wren, crew, Black Market. Blake, you flew it. Seamus, it sounds like you flew it as well. I mean, what do you guys like and don't like about that whole Ahsoka build that everybody talks about that you can't shoot at?
That's what I don't like. The first time I played her against the Imperial, Soontir Fel had his way with her. It was pretty ugly. And the fact that when I played the Jedi build that Blake's got there, I had 1 attack, 2 because of the docked Phantom, and that was it. So it's really limiting at first. That you might think to yourself, well, not being able to attack is really limiting the damage output. But when I went up and I dropped that thermal detonator and then immediately the next turn pulled the slicer tools on them, and it was pretty nasty watching one of my best friends, my brother, he went to reach down and take the ship off the table. He was so frustrated, and he looked like he was going to smack it across the shop. He was so pissed because like I said, I melted that Upsilon. And
sounds like somebody we know.
Yeah.
but realizing it's 2 days old, he picked it up all nice and gently and set it off to the side, right?
What about you, Blake? What's your thoughts?
That was my issue. In a Rebel list, every shot is precious. Yeah. Every single shot you can get is precious, and that's why I think Ahsoka is going to find a home as a Sabine carrier. Because you can, as what Seamus and I have both done, you can bump her up to a PS9, and in most lists, you're not going to be able to shoot her, so Sabine is going to be around forever, making other bombs work. And I think you'll see Ahsoka more with 2 K-wings, like I was trying to work on last week.
I've got one of those built up already. I can't wait. I'm having so much fun flying TIE fighters, but I've never flown an Imperial TIE fighter either. I've only flown the Rebel one that just came out. Wow. So that's kind of a pretty rough learning curve for somebody like me. I've got slow, fat ships that drop bombs and have turrets. I almost every list I fly has Y-wings in it.
Now you got a ship that can't go slow.
Yeah. Right. I hate it because I was trying to slow roll them the day. I'm like, oh, I'll just do one with my TIE fighter. Wait a minute.
Nah, see, I'm thinking you build it with Ahsoka with VI captured title, EMP device, Sabine, and maybe like ion bomb or something like that. Fly in, EMP them. You're going to be flying past them. They're going to be stuck ionized, going one straight. You bring your K-wings in, drop bombs on them.
You could also do thermal, so your EMP device, because EMP gets everything at range 1.
Yeah,
and then you drop a thermal on activation, and then now they're ionized and stressed.
Yep.
True.
Ironically, I just ran 3 Y-wings with dual seismic charges, and that Ahsoka with the thermal detonator and the EMP on it. And yeah, I flipped a K-turn, blasted the EMP, and then floated just out of range 1 as they floated right up next to my thermal detonator. And then on the following turn, all 3 of my Y-wings went past and dropped the seismic charges. That wasn't a happy K-wing, and I was happy with that K-wing.
I was happy.
I was happy.
But that K-wing was almost gone after that. So, you know, I did take some damage to one of my Y-wings for it. But hey, you know what? It's a Y-wing. It's going to get hurt.
So what about the what's the meta in your area? Because I'm hearing a lot of K-wings, hearing a lot of Y-wings. Is there a lot of Rebel stuff, or is it a mixture?
I'm the Y-wing. Okay. If it's not a stress bot or a twin laser turret added in as a 25 points here, I'm the Y-wing. Mostly I see a lot of Palp Aces. Lately, of course, it's been more the Defender. People are trying to do the standard Palp shuttle with an Upsilon and a single Ace now. Yep. There's a lot of that after Wave 10 dropped. The shenanigans you can pull with the U-Wing has brought those right up into the front up here, and they're just stomping. And, you know, another reason I like bombs, because, you know, with all the shenanigans going off, here, just have some damage, have some stress. I like it that way. I don't have to worry so much about dice failing.
See?
I think...
I like what he just said right there. I don't have to worry about dice failing.
and honestly, bombing, to bomb well, you have to fly well. So...
Well, you know, you do. And people don't understand that. And they don't understand that you have to time both kinds of bombs very differently with different pilot skill levels. Like Cavill, for example, at a higher pilot skill, doesn't work as well with the action bombs I found, because everybody's already moved and they're all right there on him. But, you know, then he has to move and take the action, so the bomb's kind of useless at that point. Right. Whereas if you put like a proton bomb on Cavill, it's one of the meanest things I've ever done to somebody. And you know, the proton bomb leads into dead aces all the time, and I love, again, just no dice here. Take a face up damage. Have fun with that, unless your name is Chewie.
Right.
And I was trying to help a local player of ours tonight learn how to bomb, and I said, look, the basic premise behind bombs is that you're looking at the table and you're drawing a picture with your ships. That's what you're doing. You're looking at the table and like, okay, I want my ship to be here. You just draw a picture. And that's the basic premise. You're not worried about trying to get shots or anything. All you're doing is just, I move my ship here, I drop this bomb here, and I'm going to take this shot because that's what the rules of the game say I have to do.
Right. Well, and a lot of times you're actually trying to double guess what your opponent is doing. Rather than anticipating your move, I have to kind of do that twice. I have to anticipate where you're going to be and where I'm going to be, and then where you're going to be in relation to where my bombs can end up being. That's very hard. Like I posted for the new scum list I'm running with the quad jumpers, I posted a picture where I actually dropped a bomb forward with Zuvio right next to where I had just dropped what's his name, Sarko Plank in the way to block my YV, and I missed it by a hair on either side. And that's something that takes a lot of practice to do, because I did a reverse move to drop the bomb. I also did the 2 signal loop in to block the YV. So, I mean, you have to time a lot of movement when you want to accurately drop bombs. And you also have to understand you're going to fail and you're going to hit yourself a lot before you get accurate with a bomb.
Yeah, and that's actually key right there. You're going to hit yourself. As long as you're okay with that and your ships can take it. That was my problem with bombs. Is like, fuck, I just hit myself.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mark down Nymz will never be playing with bombs.
No,
I can see your head like exploding over there with
you
the
have to
amount of
fly
thinking.
too well. Okay, no. Point and shoot. Give me a decimator and just let me go.
And
I love a ghost. You would love a ghost, Nymz.
I've flown the ghost before.
Like with the new quad jumpers, I've probably spent an hour and a half already. I've never even flown them in a match. I've probably flown them around my map sheet in my game room for a good hour and a half, missing things. I know Ryan on the last interview was talking about chasing down focus tokens. I threw a bunch of pennies out. Same.
Yep.
You try and catch the pennies. Count how many moves you make until you have no choice but to land on something that's in your way. 15 with the quad jumper so far. So, the backwards move is a lot easier to get used to flying than I think people are going to have dealing with it on the opponent's side.
Okay.
Because whoa. And backing up like that, especially in a list with the YV that can all stop, is just going to be pretty brutal.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, is that scum list on our forums too?
Yes, it is. It's the ugliest squadron ever.
Oh, I gotta pull that up. Ugliest.
Seamus has like the best squad names.
There's pictures. Well, like my original ghost list with Chopper, Hera, and Zeb on board is called "Come at Me, Bro" or "Run, Bitch," and that's basically because I want you to come at me, bro, and as soon as you do, you want to run, bitch. And it's the antiquated at this point auto blaster turret with the accuracy corrector. So, you get in close. The first time I was in tournament, a guy rolled Soontir Fell up on him, and I was like, that Fell's dead, right? And he's got tanked. He's all tanked. I'm like, okay, well, the last pilot to shoot, that would be Chopper. Okay, auto blaster turret, that's 2 hits. What? And since you still got the Phantom Dock, bam, that's dead soon. No, I showed you the cards before we started, bro. No. Yeah.
No.
So,
I think Blake did that to me once, actually.
Yes, I did.
It wasn't until Blake's Kanan build that I decided to try something other than that on it. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I just pulled up the ugliest squadron ever. I'm showing the picture and this and that right now, so everybody can see it. I'm also include the link on the in the description of this video. But yeah, I like that. More evil in the Y66 tractor beam with the tracer, thread tracers, Ketso Onyos, Zuckus, Dengar, EMP device, guidance chips, and then he has Zuvio with trick shot, thermal detonators, pattern analyzer, scavenger crane, and space tug tractor array, and then Plank with the trick shot, thermal detonators, pattern analyzer, scavenger crane, space tug tractor array.
The only thing I was thinking about on that real quick was I was thinking about switching trick shot out for adaptability and just turning them all into pilot skill 6 so that I can pick and choose my shenanigans, because that's one of the things I was trying was flying that whole list together, and having the different pilot skills is really difficult to try positioning them. Being able to move one or the other first would definitely be to its advantage, I think, above the extra dice for trick shot.
Nice. I like
Give you a lot more room for error too that way.
Yeah.
All right. So what is like the current? What's the meta in your area? I mean, is it like you said? You talked about aces, defenders.
Yeah, aces, defenders. Palp himself, of course. Pancakes. The old Dengaroo.
Pancakes.
Yeah, I like that.
They got mad at me for calling them toilet seats all the time, so I stopped. It's almost to a T if you just look up on YouTube Meta, XWING, and whatever the newest videos popping up are. That's heavy in our area. I'm actually known for the guy that makes weird lists. When I showed up with a party bus running Boba Fett instead of Forlom, and then 2 bald-faced scrub shadowcasters, everybody went, "What are you doing?" And I went, "Being an ass."
Nice.
You know,
and you probably you did well with that list, right? Because you always
yeah.
It's usually those weird lists that when people they scratch their head like, what do I do with this? And they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
They have no clue what to do, and like I'm so used to flying Palpatine Aces. No offense, Nymz, but you don't ever want to fly those against me.
I hear a vassal call out right there.
I'm playing with a new one right now.
I know, and I just what it is about Palpatine, I don't know. Like when we were at the Evergreen Cup, I went 100-0 against the only Palp list I flew against. I took Ryad down in 1 turn. Palp was gone 2 turns later, and then whatever the other defender was like 2 turns after that.
Music to my ears right here.
Yes, Blake, I'm saying the same thing. I'm like, damn those Palp defenders.
That was one of the well, that was my only really good round in that entire tournament, but that's because I was flying my own list. We had 3-man teams, and everybody was playing it. Had to play every faction, but we had an ace for each faction, and I was the scum ace. And while everybody's trying, like ours, we had a Palpatine list. I've flown one exactly twice, and it was at that tournament, and won't do it again. I have a Sling Paint Palpatine token I'll never use. I have it because it's cool. Actually bought a bunch of them and handed them out to all my buddies and stuff.
Cool. Thank you.
But hey, no problem, guys. You know, I just and we built a really neat dual Falcon list for the Rebels. Well, I was like, I don't want all these shenanigans all the time. I'm gonna be a dick. 4 Syndicate Thugs, 4 Twin Lasers, and 4 droids, and what do you do but lose to that? I mean, it's
they'll eat up Falcons all day long.
I wanted to not think. See, that's part of my key to playing is the less I have to actually think about what I'm doing. I can concentrate on moving, and if I can concentrate on flying, I'm such an awesome pilot. And then I don't have to worry about, again, dice fails, because it's twin laser turrets, and it's 4 of them. You just throw them. Eventually, you'll hit things. Yeah. Strip the tokens off of Soontir Fel. It doesn't take long, you know.
And that what you're saying right now is what I've been always saying is, like, you know, put the ships on the board, fly the ships around. Like we talk about pennies, buttons, whatever you want to put down, you gotta pick them up. But 9 times out of 10, I think, even with Ryan's video, I spoke to him the other day. He said, like, a couple times he forgot Lone Wolf. And I'm not saying Lone Wolf is one big thing, but when you have, especially with Dengaroo that he was flying, when you have so many of those mechanics, right?
You have to remember to do
them. Right, like Forlom or Zuckus. I mean, you forget it once. I'm sorry, if it's in a tournament, I might let one thing slide, but I'm not going to let it slide, every time.
Right. Well, and that could be 4 positions in the tournament. Easily one mistake, you lose that match, and you could drop right out of contention easily. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, keep it simple. That's why I always say, Baby Blues, 4 TLTYs, I've played those a lot of times. But it's, if you figure out the flying, this and that, and you can, outsmart your opponent, it's 9 times out of 10, you'll take the win. Right. I figured out the mechanic. Like I was doing a statistical analysis. I want to say 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 times, if you have a simple list, you'll do very well as long as you know the mechanics, remember the mechanics, and you can fly it.
Right.
Like Blake's list, I love Blake's list, the Kanan Biggs list, but to me, it's so much mechanics. But he's played it so many damn times. He knows. He's like, recon spec. I'm going to save one for Ray. Recon spec. I'm going to do this. You know what? You're going to take one less shot. I'm like, screw you, Blake. These days I want to.
I was about to say, if you generally, you need to, if you fly a list 5 or 10 times, you're going to have those mechanics down.
Right.
Right.
Generally. But
not Nymz. Nymz can fly a list any time.
In a tournament, you're going to forget all sorts of things in a tournament. But if you fly it at your casual night 5 or 10 times and you go in the tournament, you're probably going to remember everything.
Oh yeah.
True.
When I went to the 2015 regionals, every match I went into, the first thing I said is, "Look, man, I have played nothing but this list for 4 months. Do not give me missed opportunities." And then I shook their hand and sat down. It was muscle memory. My brain turned off. My hands did this, and I flew around the board. You know, you get so used to it. It's you know, you don't forget. And if you do, well, you should lose that opportunity if you forget at that point. You know, with that much practice. So
yeah, like a lot of videos, if you guys see me and Joe play on the videos, he always yells, like he's like, "Missed opportunity, sorry." I'm like, "Damn it!"
Hey,
but he does that on purpose. He does that.
But then
so
I'll
I can
ask
remember.
for mine. Because
Yeah, exactly.
I'm an ass like that.
Yes, he
Please
will.
have it back. No.
it's pretty funny, I gotta say, watching you guys play.
There was one time where he had a missed opportunity. He's like, "Can I take this?" I'm like, "You didn't let me have mine, so I'm not letting you have yours." No.
Exactly.
And that made him salty
Nice.
for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But,
So-
speaking of playing Berto, I just made him quit right before this.
Yes, you did.
He did. He did. I was playing a Chewbacca, the old Chewie, not the new Chewie, the old Chewie and a Lebo combination, just trying to
You
just
thought
see.
I was bringing Kylo.
Yeah, I was ready for Kylo, and I'm like, yeah, give me your crits. I don't give a shit about crits. And of course, he was playing his the new Palp Defenders on the Upsilon class shuttle Emperor combination,
Oh, nice.
and I'm like, damn it. But anyway, so as far as the next thing, actually, is a perfect segue into what I want to talk about next is the Kylo Crew. Have you guys seen flight time with it? Nymz, I know you played with it actually.
Mm-hmm.
And let's start with Blake. Blake, have you seen the new Upsilon class shuttle
Yes,
and
I have,
or the
actually,
Kylo
and
Crew?
He's
have
placed
actually.
the crew and the pilot.
I've flown against both the crew and the pilot this past Saturday at the tournament up at Atomic Empire in Durham, North Carolina.
Which you took second place, by the way, right?
Yeah, I took second place in that, and
Nice.
the last round was against a good friend of ours, Chris Allen. He was running. I sent this list to Joe immediately after because I'm like, this is something
Mhm.
Joe would fly.
Yep.
And it was the Kylo shuttle, and he had I can't. Let me look at the List Juggler data here because it's on List Juggler. But I remember he had a Megaleader and he had Darth Vader in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the idea, it was brutal for me because I
Pretty sure
knew
he had a Kylo shuttle with fire control system. He had Vader with the
This is
title.
not the Desi combination. It was just the actual Upsilon
No,
class.
this is the Kylo pilot.
I've got it. Kylo Ren, adaptability up. Fire control system, Palpatine, guidance chips. Darth Vader with adaptability, guidance chips. TIE X1, advanced targeting computer. And a Megaleader with Juke, guidance chips, and Comulate. And
Okay.
it was so brutal.
Right.
'Cause if you shoot at Kylo, you're gonna get dealt the condition card.
And that was my mistake, because I shot Kanan instead of Biggs first, the Kylo shuttle. I could have forced him to put that crit on Biggs, and I don't care at this point about Biggs. He's just there to soak damage.
Right.
And it was really, I think the way to beat that is you have to go in and treat it almost like a Lambda class shuttle. The rule of a Palp Aces list is to kill Palpatine first, otherwise you will do no damage to the Aces.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was very impressed with the power, because I was really scared of those crits, and I knew they were coming with Vader.
Yeah, it's almost guaranteed, especially against a large base ship like a Ghost.
Yeah,
But
with
the
zero
caveat to
ultimately.
that is, I was flying the Desi Vader combo with Kylo Crew, and Blake's list just ate it for breakfast.
The Kanan Biggs. Yeah, it was his Kanan Biggs list,
yeah,
right?
just destroyed it. Yeah, I mean it was nasty.
So one of the things that what I'd like to do also is talk about what we're talking about here is the Kylo Ren crew card. So it's an action, right? It says I'll show you the dark side condition card to an enemy ship at range 1 to 3, and I'll show you the dark side condition card. It says when this card is assigned, if it is not already in play, the player who dealt it searches the damage deck for one damage card with the pilot trait. Blinded pilot, stunned pilot, yep, especially blinded pilot. Trait, and may place it face up on the card and then shuffle the damage deck. When you suffer critical damage from the attack, you are instead dealt a chosen face up damage card. When there is no damage card on this card, remove it.
And remember, that goes under the shields.
Oh, yeah. It does go under the shields. Oh, yes, suffer critical damage from attack.
It goes under the shields. Now, Seamus, have you seen this at all in your area?
I haven't yet. But then we just got them last week, and I've played a couple of matches, and it was just against basically just generics, carrying asshole crew members, Vader, etc. So it's more of the same I've seen, just in a new ship. Although I will say Pattern Analyzer is rather mean on that generic ship, as well as, the fire control system.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah.
That is so mean.
Yeah, for 2 points, you're getting free target locks. It's a no with 4 dice. Yeah, you're setting up for that second round of attack. Just the alpha strike there.
Right.
The new palp. If it becomes the new palp shuttle, like the way I'm flying it, and like the way Chris was flying it, it's got teeth. This isn't a shuttle that's going to hang back. This is a shuttle that's going to go in, do some damage, hopefully, and then get killed and let the 2 aces or whatever else just clean up.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be its eventual undoing, is that you're almost given like some kind of insinuation to go in and fight with the shuttle with your highly valuable Palpatine. Right. So in a normal Lambda shuttle, you could keep that, you could hang that guy in the back forever, and keep Palpatine alive for a very long time. But this guy, you're almost guaranteeing that, look, Palpatine's going to die in 3 turns.
Well, I see something that big and that mean with teeth, so to speak. I'm going straight for it, and the Palpatine must die.
So I'm going to show up. I'm going to show. While you guys are talking here, I'm going to pull up my screen here. What I have is the combination of both of an Upsilon class shuttle, Starkiller base pilot, generic, it's at 30 points, and then I also have the Lambda class shuttle, Omicron, at 21 points. So it's a 9-point difference, but for those 9 points, you get a lot of stuff. For 9 points, like if you look at the
extra
Omicron,
shield, extra hull, extra attack
die.
And
you get
the
2
dial,
tech slots in a system.
The dial is better.
The dial.
The dial is amazing on this thing.
The one hard turn, it's red, but that right there alone, you get back into the fight so much quicker.
Yeah, but it's like you don't even care about it being red. If you put Pattern Analyzer on it, you don't care.
Well, and flying the Ghost, I have a red 1 turn, big deal.
Yeah, exactly. I flew B-Wing for a long time before the Ghost, and I'm like, oh, red 1 turn, this is nothing new at all.
Right.
It's oh my god. So the Omicron, the regular Lambda class shuttle, it doesn't even have a 1 hard or a 3 hard turn.
No.
It just has got the 2 hard, and it's a red turn. On the new Upsilon class, you have the 2 hard turn, which is a white maneuver, and the 1 and 3 are both red maneuvers. And on top of, you're also getting the coordinate, action, which is what I just saw when Nymz was playing me here at Vassal. He was coordinating his Omega Leader. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm coordinating. I'm like, so? He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it on Omega Leader. So Omega does a free barrel roll to reposition herself before she even moves. I'm like, wait, oh crap. And then he said, I'm like, oh, I forgot about the coordinate action.
Nymz, here's a question for you. Did you have Hyperwave Cobb Scanner on that, like we were talking about last night?
No, so after talking with Dan for a little bit, we switched some stuff around, and I didn't have enough points for it because I wanted the fire control system on the shuttle. So if I did that, if I dropped fire control, I could add Twin Ion to Ryad and the Hyperwave Comm to the shuttle, for those of you who don't know, the Hyperwave Comm allows me to, during placement, I can either set down as a 0, a 6, or a 12 with that shuttle.
Nasty.
So normally people would see where you sit your shuttle down as a 2, which is the lowest pilot skill, and then they would either set up right across from you or set up at the other end of the board. With this, I can say, okay, well, my other pilot's a 5, my other pilot's, and this current list that I'm running right now is a 5 and an 8, and I can wait. I say, okay, well, I'm going to set down as a 6, or, whatever. I'm going to let you set down all your ships, a ghost at a 5 bigs, or, jumps at 3s. And then now I'm going to set down my shuttle, complete opposite end, or if I want to be crazy aggressive, right in front of you, whatever. But then I also get to give another ship at range 1 to 2 a free focus or an evade. So,
Nymz, why are you giving me mean ideas?
I was about to say, Seamus, what do you think of this card? Like, 'cause I love this card.
Well, especially playing bombers the way I do, it really provides me with the potential to have a great advantage in placement. Like I said, thank you, Nymz, for giving me really mean thoughts right now.
I look forward to seeing these on the forums.
Yeah, I think this is one of the directions Fantasy Flight's going to move. They've messed with pilot skills. They've messed with everything else. Now that we're starting to see them starting to move or mess with round 0 or setup. Okay, you had Han Solo, the new Han, who can be anywhere on the board within range 2 of an enemy ship.
3.
Now with Hyperwave Comm, you can set up.
You've also got Dormits. Lieutenant Dormits. So they're
in the Upsilon class shuttle. Yep.
So I think we can all agree that the turn 0 in this game is probably one of the most, if not the most important turn in the game.
Absolutely.
Oh yes. Wave 10 brought turn 0 way beyond anything at this point. I mean, you have to be ready for anything at this point. I mean, you don't know when people's pilots are going down. Even with adaptability, you know when they're going down, but what pilot skill are they really? And now with the hyperwave comm scanner and the pilot and the shuttle and all, you really, and of course Han Solo, you just really don't know what's going on anymore. You can't make simple assumptions like you could 6 months ago on what was going to happen. And yeah, they've definitely brought it into the forefront of the game and made that really prime for planning the entire match, really.
So one of the things, let me read a Hypercom Wave scanner, just read the card here. So what Nymz was saying is about the whole 0, 6, 12, so you can choose your pilot skill. So it says, at the start of the place forces step, you may choose to treat your pilot skill value as a 0, 6, or 12 until the end of that step. During setup, after another friendly ship is placed at range 1 to 2, you may assign 1 focus or an evade token to it, and it comes in at 1 point, and it's a tech upgrade. I'm sorry, tech upgrade.
And incidentally, the highest pilot skill I'm aware of that you can have would be Tycho with the title, adaptability increase, and veteran instincts at 11. So that makes sure you go after everybody.
No, because you can have Han Solo with VI at 11. Those are the highest ones you can get.
It's 11 though, yeah. It's 11.
That's why Rourke is such a big deal, because he can get you to a 12.
Oh, correct, yeah. But that's not till combat. Yeah.
That's just
I don't like him doing.
I'm even thinking about, because the tech slot is only limited to a couple ships. The TIE SF, the T-70, the Upsilon class shuttle. I think the quad jumper's got the tech slot as well.
Quad jumper I think has 2.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, even the Upsilon class shuttle has 2 tech slots. But I was even thinking my T-70s are giving some love there. I'm like, ooh, I can place you as a 12 for 1 point. Now I lose the extra hull if I'm doing the R2 astromech or integrated astromech. But you know how many times when people I would put my 4 T-70s on the bottom left corner, and somebody would line up on the total right corner, and I want to joust. I want to throw dice at you. That was 4 ships shooting 3, 4 dice each. It's gonna hurt.
Right.
But now I'm like, oh, okay. I'm a 12. I want to see where you put your ships down first. And I can line them up. Yeah, so.
Actually, We're getting a lot of tech upgrades too now, because we have weapons guidance, comm relay, sensor cluster, prime thrusters, pattern analyzer, targeting synchronizer, and hyperwave comm scanner. We're getting a lot of tech upgrades now.
Yes.
Oh, it's about time. It's
Yeah,
about
right.
time.
It's setting up by hopefully, maybe in some future expansion, they'll give the E-Wing a tech upgrade slot on a title.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because the E-Wing is supposed to be one of the most advanced Rebel starfighters that they have. It only makes sense that, hey, this could be the experiment ground for tech slots.
Right,
Ooh,
right.
Okay. All right. So we talked about the whole Upsilon class, the shuttle itself, but what about the Kylo Crew? It's like more detail about the Kylo Crew with the condition card. I've seen a Decimator, like a Decimator, was it Decimator Vader build? I think you had, Nymz.
Yeah, I saw a Decimator Vader build, and then it went away somewhere.
Trash talking already.
There's no trash talk. He straight up destroyed it.
Really? Was it that bad? Why? I mean, why? Oh, because the TLT into the Deci that he had on.
That was one of them, and just I don't know. My green dice decided not to like me on Vader, and it was just bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Blake,
what was
thumbs up.
Thank you.
But what was your thoughts behind that list? Like, did you put that together, or did you see it was a net list of some sort, or?
No, actually, well, it started because of the Hotshot Copilot, the Hot Cop Rack list, is what people were calling it, which is Rear Admiral with Hotshot Copilot, Gunner, Vader, and Ryad with normal push limit, whatever. So that was the foundation, and then Kylo came out. So I said, okay, well, you know what? Let's keep Hotshot, let's keep Gunner to strip tokens. Let's add Kylo, to, because we get a focus, we're going to turn it to a crit. So the chances of that are pretty high. So then Kylo, and he's already an 8 pilot skill, so he's going to beat out most of the other pilots out there. Combine that with Vader with advanced targeting computer, if you have a target lock, it's a guaranteed crit. You're almost gonna deal that condition card first round of fire, no matter what. Which my first game that I tested it, I went up against Miranda Dash list, and I caught Miranda with blinded pilot 2 rounds in a row, and Miranda never got a shot off before she was off the board. Wow. So it was nasty. But then you go up against a list with turrets that slings a lot of dice, like Blake's Cannon Biggs list. It just
eats it up.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I need to play with it more. Mm-hmm. I don't think it'll be the final list. Vader's just a little too squishy. But, time will tell.
If I also may add, Hotshot Copilot didn't do as much as I thought it would do.
It worked like once or twice. You weren't able to downgrade Vader's shots, Rear Admiral shots.
Okay.
But
so help me understand the whole, so with Kylo, you're seeing the big things coming out. Everybody wants to use Kylo, but I think what people are noticing is, yeah, it's nice, but it's very situational, right? I mean, are you gonna?
It is.
So is it? And what I also love about Wave 10, it really blows out the meta. I mean, I was looking at some of the latest lists and List Juggler and some of the regionals, this and that. Now, I want another week or two before. Blake, are you dying over there? I see you going like this. Do I need to call an ambulance to your house?
That's something caught in my throat.
911. My friend is dying on Skype.
Like a little piece of dust got in there.
But I mean, and that's the thing is like I want to see a couple more weeks of List Juggler with some other big tournaments, with Kylo and this and that, and see how it shakes up things. But you kind of, Nymz, you said it best. Is what I love right now, especially right now, is there's so many different lists out there. There's not like I remember when we first started playing, it was Soontir Vader or Soontir Inquisitor with Palp Shuttle. That was all you saw. Everybody flew that, and everybody tried to beat that one list. And now it's just like it's all over the place. It still is.
Right.
Right. I mean, Seamus, what about like in your area as far as you talked about PAL bases, you talked about pretty much whatever the meta is running. You said you had a big scene over there. Do you guys have a lot of tournaments in that area?
Well, I stay here in Kitsap County specifically, and there's 3 shops that I go to, and they've got it coordinated so that 3 out of 4 weeks of the month I can go to tournaments.
Oh, nice.
And that's all within 25 to 30 minutes of my house. Now, if I really wanted to, they actually have tournaments during the week at some of these places, and I could go Friday, Saturday, Sunday to a tournament, and probably a couple of Wednesdays added in if I really wanted to. There's so many shops. But you also have to remember that on the other side of the Puget Sound, where Seattle's actually at, you've got just like 85 miles of solid city by close to 25 miles of solid city. So the population base over there is just massive. I live in a little rinky-dink, town. I got woods 20 feet from my house, So, but if I stand in the right spot, I can see Seattle. So, we've got a very diverse area to deal with as well. Like Kyle, the guy that runs the Evergreen Squadron podcast, he's actually from Bainbridge Island, and that's a trek for me to get to there. And he comes down fairly solid to the city of Bremerton. It's 25-30 minute drive for him as well to get there. It's about the same for me. So for me to get to him is almost an hour drive. And Gur on him, he's actually I'm going to shout out to him. He's the first guy I ever played in a tournament, and I learned really quickly what R3A2 was about.
Stress ball.
Yeah. It was not fun, but it was. Actually, that's the best showing I've ever had in a tournament. I took second place.
Nice.
But you're also talking about a tournament that took place like a month after I learned how to play in a power outage with headlamps and candles. So,
yes, some old school X-Wing, real old school.
Really old school.
Dedication.
Well, it was about a month before my birthday. We had a storm and the power went out. So I drove to the next town over, went to Target, bought the Force Awakens corset, called my buddy up and said, "Come here, we're learning to play." So we did.
That's awesome.
I like that one. 20 feet from your house here, there are woods. I'm in a forest. I can look outside. Right? I can see the creek, and just trees. That's all. Nothing else.
Yeah, I've got my shed and trees.
Yeah, what's
nice.
So
that's what I've got the wood shed and trees.
So what else, Seamus? I mean, so you got us online. You're part of Team SPG. You got us online. We're finally Skyping you. I'm so excited about that. And we've been doing a lot with the whole Team SPG, trying to get some more Vassal matches. You talked about potentially getting set up with Vassal. We want to actually. Blake and I were talking about doing a Vassal tutorial. Videos on that.
Definitely needed.
It's actually, once you understand them, it's actually easier to talk to a person over the phone. When
Right.
you're playing with them or Skype or what have you, but you can still do it, 100% completely on Vassal. It's just, I think it takes a little bit longer. Nymz, do you agree? Blake,
Right.
do you agree?
Yeah, it definitely takes longer. That's for sure.
Well, and I figured out most of it. The problem I'm having is I followed their instructions on saving a list and then loading a list, and I had no problem with it. The next day, I had no problem with it, and then the day after that, it just stopped loading the list. It's still there. I mean, it still tells me it loads it, but I can't find it anywhere. So I just, if I'm going to play, more than likely, I'm just going to need a few minutes just to quick set something up beforehand, so I don't have to mess with that whole process.
But we're going to do that. I'm going to do. Say again, Blake.
most of the Vasco community is really cool too. Like they're on there they just want to play X-Wing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you can take half an hour to set up and know some of these guys are the most patient people on Earth.
Yeah, you kind of have to be a little patient, especially with playing Vasco. Yeah. I want a person that sits in front of me, and I'd be like, please set my dial to 2 left. And please move my stuff. I just wanted somebody else to move Vassal, because every time I do Vassal, I think Nymz always yells at me. He's like, "You moved this and you screwed this up." I'm like, "Ugh."
I'm not that bad of a person to play against.
No, I meant it in the hardest way. The funny part is I love reading the comments on our videos about Nymz. There was a comment the other day, and it was a really, really bad word, which I will try to refrain from saying that word. But long story short, he goes, "Whoever's playing that shady Bosculus is a real." I said, "You must not know Nymz." That's my first thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll find a loophole.
That's fun.
All right. Well, so Seamus, is
fun.
there anything else that since you got us on here? Was there any questions? Or topics you want to talk about?
Well, let me just say that it's been really nice getting to know you guys a little bit and hanging out. And before Berto gets a chance, buy their tokens. They're really worth it. I run Rebel set. I complete Epic, mind you. Every token I could possibly need for it, as well as a smaller set for my individual lists. So believe me, they're worth it. They're so easy to see and deal with.
Shameless plug. Love it. Thank you.
Well, and while I play tanks, I just picked up a set of those too. Because
how do you like those, by the way? You like those?
I do, actually.
Okay.
The objective ones, the color might be a little bit dark, but other than that, yeah, no, I like them. And
you're the first person I asked feedback that's outside of our area, because I was curious about that. Okay, good.
Yeah, the same thing applies with the dead tokens. Some of the people have a hard time seeing the stress. All the rest of them are fine. I throw a focus token down there, everybody's like, focus. Okay, I got it.
I did.
But
I run the dead set, but I use the acrylics.
That's what my little my individual list set is the dead set, and again, I really like them. I know it sounds like I'm all being a fanboy, but well, so be it. Because I'm going to be buying more tokens soon enough. Well, right, Team Swing Paint, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And see, going back to Swing Paint, hey, I got my own segue here. I really like the fact that I was able to get in on something like this before it was established, so I can actually help with the progression of it.
Yes.
People don't understand what it's like to just join a group and be told this is how it operates versus starting something and saying, hey guys, how would we like this? Maybe we can do this, maybe we can do this, and making it funner for everybody involved, and I really appreciate you guys enough to take part in it and everything. And I have a hard time picking one of you guys playing. That's my favorite because y'all fly lists I like, and y'all just depending on the moment. I mean, I'm almost always hashtag scum life, but if there's a ghost in there, I might just not be because I really like my rebels.
Yes.
Rebels. I honestly I fly very little Imperials. I have one list that's waiting to be flown, and it'll be the first Imperial list I've built and flown in probably 8 months. I just don't fly them much. I get so tired of flying against them that I just don't want to be them.
I'm all like, if you can't beat them, join them. Fuck it.
Well, see, and I was like that too until joining them didn't work either, and that's why I went to bombs, because I don't have to roll dice anymore.
There you go.
But yeah, no, it's just really nice to get in on the ground floor of something that's bigger than myself, but it's something that I really enjoy, and it's part of me being, the gaming. Because, while X-Wing might be the primary focus right now, I know there's several people into Imperial Assault and Armada, and I'm hoping to find more people with tanks because I really do like my tanks. What can I say? So yeah,
I appreciate that. I mean, that's huge and that's awesome. And what we want to do is, like, Blake's been trying to get me into Imperial Assault. Actually, you can see right behind me. I got pretty much.
He has it.
I got stuff that's not even open.
This is why I'm trying to.
And see, that's the only one that has a chance with me at this point is Imperial Assault, because I just can't afford to get into another card game like Destiny.
Imperial Assault is so worth it.
I have too many Magic cards to get into another game that involves a lot of cards.
Yeah, Destiny's pretty crazy.
I like it.
Yeah, Nymz likes it a lot.
Like Imperial Assault, it's really fun because that's where I am from, that wargaming background.
Battletech.
And so when I play Imperial Assault, it reminds me of just me and my best friend. We'd just be up playing Warhammer, and that's what it reminds me of. And that's why I've learned to love it so much. And plus, who doesn't want to be Luke Skywalker dual wielding a lightsaber and a gun? Give me.
Sounds like a good plan. Hey.
So let me do this. We're coming up into an hour. I like to keep these things around an hour because I think that's the most content that a person will actually sit down and watch, just based on our stats. So we're going to wrap this up. Seamus, it is a huge thank you for being on the show, and we definitely going to do a lot more with you on this and stuff. Blake, Nymz, you guys got to say anything before we close out? I can't speak today.
Thanks for being an awesome member of Team SPG and helping us get it kicked off the ground here.
Hey, well, no problem, and thank you guys for doing what you do, because, while I was already involved before I saw it, I see so many people telling you guys how inspiring you are to them, and that's really another reason to support you guys, because of the inspiration to others. So,
I appreciate that. All right, so let's wrap this bad boy up. If you guys like this video, definitely give it a like. If you want to subscribe to our channel, definitely give us a subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button below. Nymz, your part.
Is it down here? Where is it?
It's down there.
Anyway, check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. Go to Twitter. Go to Store Envy. Go to Etsy. Go to slingpaint.com. It's all of those things. You can get the tokens. You can get
links
T-shirts.
Below.
You can get it all. Also, check out our forums on slingpaint.com. You can read about Team SPG there. See what it's all about. And maybe be on one of these videos one day.
Yeah. And guys, always remember you're free to send us any messages you want. I personally, I'll talk about anything from ships to Twi'leks, whatever.
Oh, wait! Before we wrap this up, where is your life-size cardboard
she is hiding out in someone's house. I'm waiting for them to find her.
Oh, I have got to see that.
Yeah, I want to see it.
One of these days, I'll actually get. My friends give me the keys to their house stupidly, so I can watch their dogs and stuff. But sometimes I'll sneak this cardboard cutout into their house and just hide it somewhere and just wait for them to find it.
All right, we're gonna end on that note.
On that note.
Hashtag Crazy Blake. All right, Seamus, again, thank you. Nymz, Blake, always a pleasure. And we're gonna wrap this up. You guys don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Don't hang up yet. But as we wrap this video up, again, like what Nymz said, please check out all the links below, and also any of the things and lists that we talked about. We'll also include in the description below. Peace. Thanks, guys. Oh wait, my new slogan I've been trying to say here. All right. If oh my God, I forgot it again. Jesus, I don't know what's wrong with me. All right.
Way to screw that one up.
I know. I was ready to tee it off, and I just dribbled it in front of me. Always remember, sling more paint than your opponent does, you're probably gonna win. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Peace.